Chapter 1. The Liang Dynasty. Northern Liang City. The Yi family. Within the opulent hall, a middle-aged man of high status emanated an aura of authority without uttering a word, exuding a terrifying presence that suggested he could dominate the world. Beside him sat a noble woman clad in a crimson robe, her eyes occasionally revealing a sharp intensity, a menacing sword intent flickering as if it might shatter the very hall itself. Flanking them was an ethereal young man, his gaze fixed intently upon the youth below, lost in his own thoughts. Yi Chun surveyed the unfamiliar surroundings and the individuals above him, confusion evident in his eyes. What on earth is happening? In the next moment, a splitting headache assailed him as fragmented memories flooded his mind, revealing that he had traversed into a fantastical realm. Cultivators possess the power to move mountains and soar through the skies, with some even able to defy the heavens and pluck stars from the firmament. The middle-aged man before him was his father, Yi Kuang, the king of the Liang dynasty, guarding the 13 states of northern Liang and commanding an army of 1,000,000 black-armored soldiers. He had single-handedly slaughtered 300,000 barbaric foes, earning a reputation that struck fear even in the hearts of the royal family. The noble woman in red was his mother, Murong Shui, a saintess hailing from a reclusive family with an illustrious background. The young man was his third brother, Yi Kong, endowed with an unparalleled physique and spatial divine body, who had already become a powerful figure in the tribulation stage at a tender age, mastering various spatial secret arts. As a modern individual from Blue Star, Yi Chun was acutely aware that he represented a quintessential second-generation wealthy heir. With such advantages, why struggle? It would be far simpler to embrace a life of leisure. Haha, the ancients do not deceive me. In his previous life, he had been a deliverer man, toiling day in and day out, enduring countless hardships and humiliations for a mere handful of silver coins. Who could have anticipated that on a rainy night, he would encounter the legendary freight truck that transported him to the realm of cultivation? At last, he had escaped a dismal fate and embarked upon a new life. Unfilial son, what nonsense are you spouting? Kneel at once. While he was lost in dreams of a brighter future, Yi Kuang's thunderous voice jolted Yi Chun back to reality, accompanied by an overwhelming pressure. Thud! His knees crashed violently onto the ground, the excruciating pain almost eliciting a scream. A closer inspection would reveal traces of blood on the floor. His mother, Murong Shui, displayed a fleeting expression of unutterable emotion, but quickly regained her composure, her demeanor as tranquil as a placid lake, as if Yi Chun were of little consequence. Am I truly your biological son? Fury welled within him. Yi Chun was genuinely enraged. What kind of parents would treat their own son with such disdain? He fixed his gaze on Yi Kuang. Incredulity etched across his face. In his previous life, he had been an orphan, perpetually destitute, and he had hoped to experience the familial affection he had long yearned for in this new world. The harsh reality delivered a resounding slap to his face. Slap! Before he could fully comprehend the situation, a clear handprint appeared on his face, the force of the blow sending him sprawling, blood spilling from his lips. The assailant was none other than Yi Kuang, who had risen from his seat, his face contorted with rage, an aura of terror suffusing the hall, utterly indifferent to Yi Chun's capacity to withstand it. How dare you speak such blasphemy after all these years I have raised you? His voice dripped with icy indifference. Struggling against the pain, Yi Chun managed to rise, just as his mind assimilated the complete set of memories, vivid scenes flashing before him. At the moment of his birth, auspicious energy had surged for 90,000 miles. The ethereal forms of dragons and phoenixes had manifested, and various celestial phenomena had erupted. He bore the bloodline of the human emperor, an invincible dual pupil, and the supreme sword bone, three extraordinary physiques coalescing within him. By the age of 9, his cultivation had reached the 9th level of the half-saint realm, his combat prowess surpassing that of ordinary saints. He had been on the brink of becoming the youngest saint in history when the heavenly Tao, incensed, unleashed 81 heavenly tribulations upon him. Though he had narrowly survived, he sustained irreversible damage, his cultivation plummeting to the innate realm. Countless celestial treasures could not restore his strength, and he was rendered unable to continue cultivating, almost akin to being a waste. His parents gradually grew indifferent to him. His 3 elder brothers continuously suppressed, and ostracized him. At 13, his eldest brother, Yi Feng, forcibly seized his human emperor bloodline, subjecting him to 14 days of excruciating torment, his cries echoing throughout the Yi family. His cultivation subsequently fell to the condensation realm, and it took a considerable time for him to emerge from the shadows. However, his respite was short-lived. At 16, his second brother, Yi Yun, forcibly extracted his supreme sword bone, an agony akin to having his heart ripped out, a pain that still lingered vividly in his memory, causing his cultivation to plummet to the spiritual sea realm. Later, his third brother, Yi Kong, even occupied his separate residence, relegating him to a life of sharing meals and living quarters with the servants of the royal mansion. Through it all, his biological parents remained oblivious, while the servants of the royal mansion brazenly humiliated and abused Yi Chun. Now, they were even more cruel and ruthless, preparing to personally extract his invincible dual pupil on the occasion of his 18th birthday. The original soul could not withstand the dual assault on his spirit and body, quietly choosing to end his own life, thus granting Yi Chun the opportunity to traverse into this world. Did I receive the wrong script? After perusing the entirety of his memories, Yi Chun felt utterly numb. In his previous life, he had lived like a dog in this life. He was faring even worse than that. One could say it was a heavenly farce from beginning to end. In a span of 2 lifetimes, one word summed it up. Tragic, tragic, tragic. It was nothing short of inhumane suffering. Yi Chun felt a sense of panic while others traversed into new worlds with the cultivation of an emperor or with indestructible bodies, or at the very least with a ring containing an ancient grandparent. Why was his experience so drastically different? It was simply unfair, utterly unfair. System, come forth. I demand to alter my fate. Great system, are you there? After calling out several times with no response, Yi Chun looked at the ring in his hand. Old grandparent, stop hiding, I know you're inside. Alas, still no sound. Yi Kwang, observing Yi Chun's bizarre behavior, revealed signs of impatience and coldly remarked, feigning madness is of no use. Your third brother possesses a spatial divine body and requires your dual pupil. You know what must be done, don't you? Upon hearing this, Yi Chun erupted into manic laughter, desolation flooding his heart as his fingernails dug into his flesh, unable to fathom the cold-bloodedness of his parents. Haha, you extract my human emperor bloodline, seize my supreme sword bone, and now you wish to pluck my invincible dual pupil? Truly the finest parents in the world. If he held no value, could he be cast aside like a discarded pawn? Was the bond of blood and kinship so insignificant in their eyes? Yi Kwang's expression turned grim. He had not anticipated that his normally submissive son would dare to mock him, a rebellion that he could not tolerate. And he bellowed, "Humph. The Yi family boasts 3 prodigies. We have no need for a waste like you. Once your dual pupil is surrendered, simply await your demise." Yi Chun gazed up at his callous family, an ocean of resentment welling in his eyes, yet he lacked the power to resist, his heart brimming with unwillingness. Ding! Host's boundless hatred detected. The supreme killing god system successfully bound. Great system, you have finally arrived. The voice resonating in his mind was akin to celestial music. The system may be late, but it would never be absent. System, a proper introduction would be nice. Perhaps start with the cultivation of an emperor or a quasi-emperor, or even a starter gift package. None of that to grow stronger. He must rely on his own efforts. None? Yi Chun felt an icy chill in his heart upon hearing this, having hoped that acquiring a system would enable him to change his current circumstances, only to discover that he still had to toil for it. What a misfortune, truly a wretched fate. It was enough to bring one to tears. Damn it, what use are you to me then? Kill, kill, kill. The host shall grow stronger through slaughter. After the system binding was successful, 2 choices emerged for activation, each offering different rewards. The first choice, better to be shattered than to be whole, destroy the invincible dual pupil and receive the killing god body, with an immediate elevation of 18 levels, plus a Saint Emperor experience card. The second choice, achieve the first kill, receiving the killing god body, with an elevation of 10 levels, plus a Saint experience card. Each realm is divided into 9 levels. Body refinement, spiritual sea, condensation, innate skyward divine power, golden body, 10,000 laws, heavenly origin, shattering void, tribulation, half saint, saint, saint king, Saint Emperor, Quasi-Emperor, Emperor, Supreme. Each realm comprises 9 levels. System, you are quite something. Upon reviewing the conditions for activating the system, Yi Chun could only shrug helplessly, realizing that everything still depended on himself. While the rewards were indeed generous, the challenges were formidable, making the execution quite difficult. The first choice to destroy the invincible dual pupil seemed a bit too reckless. Moreover, given his weakness, those above him would never grant him such an opportunity. The second choice of achieving the first kill was equally daunting. Even the weakest among them, Yi Kong, possessed the strength of the tribulation stage. To think he could slay someone of such caliber with merely his spiritual sea strength was utterly unrealistic. Yet, should he fail to achieve this, he would lose his invincible dual pupil today, leading to a significant decline in his cultivation, with a high likelihood of becoming a waste at that moment. The prospect of committing murder seemed increasingly daunting, as if every conceivable action led only to further entrapment, leaving one in a state of utter despair. Cursed fate, what should I do? Yi Chen's thoughts raced with fervor, seeking a solution that would satisfy all parties involved. Mu Rong Shui, observing Yi Chen's peculiar behavior and his incessant mutterings incomprehensible to others, couldn't help but question whether her youngest son was experiencing some form of mental instability. After all, enduring a series of relentless blows would be unbearable for anyone thus. She slowly rose, hoping to offer some guidance. Chainer, since you can no longer continue your cultivation, why not bestow the Zhongtong upon your third brother? In the future, he shall wield immense power in the human emperor realm, thereby bringing glory to the Yi family. Do not dwell excessively on gains and losses. It is merely a matter of exchanging eyes among you. It is not a grave matter. In time, you will be able to open your eyes and behold this world once more. The Yi family will protect you for life. Would it not be preferable to enjoy a carefree existence as a young master? Yi Chan turned to Mu Rong Shui, her tone so self-evident that it ignited a tempest of fury within him. What manner of mother could utter such words? With a piercing gaze fixed upon his parents, his expression turned chillingly cold. If I am not mistaken, I must surely be a child picked from the streets, for I cannot fathom how parents could be so heartless. The promise of lifelong protection, what utter nonsense. Yi Chen's expression grew ferocious, his eyes ablaze with fury, teetering on the brink of a complete breakdown. Upon hearing these words, Yi Kong's face darkened, his eyes flashing with divine light as he struck Yi Chun, sending him crashing into a pillar of the Grand Hall. To show disrespect to one's parents is a grievous folly. Should you dare to repeat this, I shall personally render you powerless. I possess a spatial divine body, capable of traversing boundless voids and wielding unmatched power. With the Zhongtong, becoming a mighty emperor in the future is well within reach. To offer me the Zhongtong is a privilege you ought to cherish. Do you understand? Yi Kuang remained unmoved, deeming Yi Chun ungrateful, believing that even death would be a fitting end for him, just as his third son had asserted. Yet Mu Rong Shui, being a woman, felt a pang of empathy upon witnessing the fratricidal conflict, and she rushed to support the bloodied and fallen Yi Chun. Chainer, cease your obstinacy. We only wish what is best for you. Do not harbor resentment. All will pass in due time. Her seemingly caring words were laced with reproach, and Yi Chen's disappointment in his family reached a breaking point. He forcefully shook off Mu Rong Shui's grasp, his eyes coldly disregarding her presence. Eldest brother seizes the human emperor bloodline. Second brother claims the supreme sword. Bonito, you comprehend the suffering I have endured? Ye family servants can bully me. I will have you ever shown concern even once? And now, you wish to extract my Zhongtong? Once I have lost everything, will I not simply be discarded? The three soul-piercing questions rendered Mu Rong Shui momentarily speechless. Before her stood Yi Chun, her own flesh and blood, regardless of his circumstances. Once adorned with potential, fate had cruelly transformed him into a mere shadow of himself. Yet this was not Yi Chen's fault. He should not have to bear such profound suffering. Enduring the indifference of blood relatives, facing the agony of depletion and extraction, and now threatened with the loss of his very eyes. The dual wounds to his psyche and body had become unbearable. It was indeed a feat for him to endure until now. Realizing this, Mu Rong Shui's eyes welled with tears, regretting her previous actions as she reached out to caress Yi Chen's head. My child, forgive me for your suffering. Today, none shall take your Zhongtong, your mother, shall make amends in the future. Yi Chen retreated without hesitation, utterly disbelieving Mu Rong Shui's words. With an expression devoid of emotion, he replied, No need. I have no mother like you. Reclaim your laughable pity, all that I have lost, I shall reclaim with my own hands in due time.